Transfer news live. Vlahovic to Arsenal, Dembele, Pogba latest. Transfer news live. The January transfer window is open, and the first major moves have been made, with Felipe Coutinho arriving at Aston Villa, Kieran Trippier joining Newcastle, and Ferran Torres completing his switch to Barcelona. If the rumour mill is anything to go by, there could be plenty more in the offing this month. Arsenal are reportedly leading the race to sign Fiorentina striker Dusan Vlahovic, with Mikel Arteta yesterday talking up the possibility of a big signing this month. Chelsea, meanwhile, could be forced into the market to help cover for defensive injuries, while Antonio Conte is seeking reinforcements as he looks to kickstart his Tottenham revolution. Sponsored Manchester United have reportedly offered Paul Pogba a new deal, while reports in Spain suggest both Manchester City and Liverpool are eyeing up a move for Barcelona teenager Gavi. On the continent, the future of Erling Haaland is the big talking point, but it looks unlikely the Norwegian will be leaving Borussia Dortmund this month. And the same goes for Kylian Mbappe at PSG, even with his contract up at the end of the season. Keep up with all the latest news and rumours in our blog below. Sky Sports say a number of Premier League clubs are on alert as Ousmane Dembele's standoff with the Barcelona board continues. The Frenchman is in the final 6 months of his contract at the new camp and is reportedly unhappy with the offer of a new deal, which includes a significant pay cut. The signing of Ferran Torres from Manchester City has also done little to convince Dembele of his importance to the Catalan club. A fairly surprising report coming out of Spain this morning is that Manchester City and Liverpool are supposedly keen on signing Barcelona youngster Gavi in the summer. The surprising part isn't their interest, given the 17-year-old's obvious talent, but rather the idea that they may be able to prize him away from the new camp. Spanish outlet El Nacional claim there is a £42 million release clause in the teenager's contract and that Liverpool are ready to offer the midfielder an £80,000 per week deal, but that City are hoping their Barca connection will put them at the head of the race. Sticking with Manchester United, Paul Pogba has rubbished claims he has been offered a new contract by the club. Reports yesterday suggested that the Frenchman has been offered a £500,000 per week deal that would make him the Premier League's best paid player as he heads into the final 6 months of his current deal. However, the Mail today say that a spokesman for the midfielder has issued a statement dismissing those reports. To clarify media reports, Paul has not been offered a new contract in recent months, it reads. Paul is fully focused on his recovery from injury, with the aim of helping the team as soon as possible. Speaking of Serbian stars in Serie A, Italian outlet Calciomercato say Manchester United are ready to revive their long-standing interest in Lazio midfielder Sergej Milinkovic-Savic. Milinkovic-Savic was the name on everyone's lips a couple of years ago, with the midfielder heavily linked with a Premier League move, but nothing ever materialized, despite supposed interest from United, Chelsea and Liverpool. However, the report claims the 26-year-old has an informal agreement in place with Lazio owner Claudio Lotito to allow him to leave this summer should an offer come in, with Man United and Juventus said to be the most likely bidders. Speaking about the possibility of doing a deal of such magnitude this month, with reports in Italy suggesting Vlahovic would command a £70 million fee, Arteta had this to say. I think with the amount of things and the way that we want to evolve the squad, we have to maximize every window in many different ways, and we are alert. Technical director Edu and his team are working very hard because we know exactly what we need to do, and whether we can accomplish that in January or in the summer is a different question as it is related to other stuff. Asked if a big deal came along if Arsenal would go for it, Arteta said. Again, if it is the right player and we can afford it, and we can do what we want to do, we will discuss it and make the best possible decision. We are open. We'll start with what would surely be one of the most significant moves by a Premier League club this month, as Arsenal eye a move for Fiorentina striker Dusan Vlahovic. The Athletic yesterday reported that the Gunners are in pole position to seal a deal should the Serbian move this month, but will likely face increased competition in the summer. It was no surprise, then, that Mikel Arteta was quizzed about that possibility in his press conference ahead of today's FA Cup meeting with Nottingham Forest. Welcome back to Standard Sports live coverage of the January transfer window. We'll start the morning with a roundup of all the latest news and gossip. Diego Costa had only been at Atletico Mineiro for 5 months, but he has reached an agreement with the club to terminate his contract and leave with immediate effect. In that time, Costa helped the club to their first league title in 50 years. Things are never quiet when he's around. Who knows what will come next for the 33-year-old, who is now a free agent. Southampton boss Ralph Hasenhüttl believes players signed in January should not be allowed to play in fixtures that were postponed before their arrivals. This should be something the Premier League is discussing. Hasenhüttl said, "We have 18 games postponed so far, and it is something that you cannot stop playing in December and wait for the signings in January to play. Nobody has done this, but it could be an opportunity in the future, and this is what we shouldn't get. It's also the same for us because we have a new owner and could sign 4 players and then play the rearranged game against Brentford on January 11th with a different team. This is not fair, and it's why they should be thinking about it. I raised it at the last Premier League meeting and that we should think about it because of the integrity of the league. We had some issues in the past and we should try to be very strict in this way." Manchester City could take advantage of Barcelona's financial problems with a swoop on Gavi. Reports in Spain suggest the Spaniard is a £42 million target for Pep Guardiola's side.